My name is Dagon. I am an assistant to Sandor. I am in charge of our master's historical records. My search engines work at a speed of 1900 MHz. As of this date, I maintain over 22 billion items in the historical library for Sandor. Master has requested that Sandor authorize me to share with you a letter that was discovered not long ago. This letter was written by an attorney who represents a major Christian cult in America. For over 12 years, this attorney has tried to keep my master from reaching the world with his message. What is my master's message, you ask? Since 1972, Master has tried to find a way to get the masses of people on this planet to understand how important it is for them to persuade governments and corporations to unite together in developing the world's first super dry laboratory. What is a dry laboratory, you might ask? For the past 30 years, Master has visualized a time fast approaching when a form of medicine would captivate the world's population. That new form of medicine is called body-mind medicine. There are now teachers and healers alive on this planet with followings of over 10 million who are proclaiming that the body and the mind can cure all diseases, including the diseases of aging. Master has seen that the time would come when humans would begin to realize that we now live in the only period in history when, with the help of supercomputers, researchers have the possibilities of understanding the cause of disease. With this new knowledge, medicine will soon be able to help stop a disease before it affects the body. Master has wanted to make everybody aware of what biomedical computing is, and why it needs at least the immediate level of support that the Manhattan Project received. In the short term, Master wanted to help get funding for several intellectual communities, universities and think tanks that already had established research programs using biomedical computing and medical informatics. Most universities and think tanks are spending more time trying to get research money than they are spending on research. Master teaches that just as the supercomputers of the fourth generation have now mapped out the DNA of the human cell, so the next generation of computers, with the proper funding, would be able to map out the intelligence field and the energy field of the atoms that make up the trillions of cells in the human body. Master teaches that to understand the energy and intelligence fields of the atoms is to understand the causal level of disease. Master teaches that with the new expert systems of the fifth generation, it is now possible to begin that mapping process if and when proper funding is available. The field of quantum physics is a relatively new subject to most people. Master teaches that with the help of super dry laboratories using biomedical computing, the process of mapping the intelligence and the energy fields of the human body will begin. The letter that I am about to have my cyborg secretary read to you was written by the attorney who was the hero for years of the cult leaders that supported keeping Master from telling the world about his vision. You see, it is important to understand that this cult believes that only Satan teaches that it is possible for man to extend life. The cult leaders believe that Satan was able to get Eve to eat the apple in the Garden of Eden. because he claimed that by eating the apple, Eve could continue to live and not die. This code teaches that when you die, there is no soul that continues to live on. Thus many of the children raised in this cult fear death and dying, and of course, would love to see science discover a way to youth instead of age. For years, these cult leaders have believed that my master has to be stopped before he continues teaching the lies that they believe Satan taught to Eve. I will now have Victoria read a letter to you about my master, David. The letter was written by Ellen and was addressed to the president of the cult. His name is Elder Frogburger.
Dear Elder Frogburger, I am writing to you to let you know that for the past 3 weeks, I have been in a mental hospital. I do not know when I will be allowed to go home. I do not even know if I ever want to go home. I am so ashamed of myself. As you know, I do not belong to your church. I have just been your attorney all these years. For over 12 years, I have tried to do your bidding. Very few people know just how much you have wanted me to ruin David. At this point, I am trying to figure out how and why I allowed you and those who work for your huge organization to talk me into trying to be your hero. I now believe that I am a pathetic fool. I have run around this country for over 12 years, trying to find a way to stop David from getting his message out to the world. I have worked day and night, trying to get federal magistrates and federal judges to put him away. Now, after all these years, I am worried that those federal magistrates and federal judges may be looking at me more than they are looking at the very person I have worked so hard to set up. Can you believe it? I might end up getting into more trouble than I have got David into before this mess is over. I have had most of the people who testified at trial here in my office. I paid for them to fly here so that I could make sure that their stories helped get the results that you wanted. No one is going to believe that I was not behind this whole mess. I got people to spin their stories so that David would be nailed to the wall. I now wonder if David's lawyers are going to nail me to the wall. I have heard that the federal investigators are beginning to figure out how and what I have been up to all these years. I have also heard that David's defense lawyers have put together binders of evidence proving that those who flew here to meet with me perjured themselves at trial. Elder Frogburger, I want you to know that if I get into trouble, so will you. As you know, each time I have gone after David, I have been emboldened by your Flattery. I did this work for you and your associates. Now, after all these years, I am even hearing that the news people are beginning to investigate you and your administration. I don't need this. My mental health is now in jeopardy. I want you to fix this thing, Elder Frogburger. I want it fixed before you and I both end up on the front page of some big city newspaper. Oh my goodness. What in the world have I been thinking? Elder Frogburger. Please ask David to forgive both of us before it is too late. I will close for now. Ellen. By the way, Elder Frogburger, I just put on a recording of David playing the piano.